The Unconditional Love. Chapter 1. The Unexpected Smile. Unfolding her eyes, she met with an empty bed, making her sigh. Maybe it was absurd for her to hope for too much. But it was every woman's dream, after a beautiful night, to have a bright morning waking up in her loved one arms. She gave him her everything, her time, her peace, her whole being. She let him rule over her without demanding anything in return, but now she started to feel empty. She wanted to be loved. For once, she wanted to hear those words which he accepts hearing from her. Is it so hard to love her? To forget his past and move on with his present? But he just keeps holding on the things that happened to him. Even after she gave him everything, even herself, to him, he still isn't ready even after 3 years of her unconditional love. She cleaned the room, settling the dressing table accurately. After taking a shower, she remembered she had to visit her friend's house today. Anastasia's friend is a doctor, and for the past week, she was feeling weirdly nauseous. Filling her husband's needs had become her routine. Reaching to her friend's house, she smiled at her Emily. Anastasia hugged her friend. Emily pulled her inside, forcing her to sit on the sofa so she could bring drinks for them. "Hey, Anna." Emily's husband came in the living room with a smile, greeting Anastasia. "Hey, Andrew, how are you? How are you handling that lioness?" He made a warning look as Emily entered the living room with suspicious eyes, while Anastasia giggled a little. "Anna, how many times I have to tell you no talking back about my princess?" he said, kissing her head as Anastasia raised her hands in defeat, even though he himself used to complain behind Emily's back. Emily smacked his head, pulling away from his embrace and placing the tray of drinks on the table. "You shouldn't be the one saying this, Sherlock." Andrew sighed before kissing her last time and went out as he had to reach his office. Anastasia felt so envious and happy for her friend. Emily and Andrew's marriage was also an arranged one, but with time, they both fell for each other. Andrew did have a girlfriend, but she left him when her parents chose someone else for her, and she didn't even fight for their relationship. Andrew was heartbroken, but after marrying Emily, he slowly started to accept her, and finally, she won him after a year. Emily is a doctor. They were not ready for the baby yet, as their marriage happened 2 years ago, while Anastasia's case was different. No one was against Darian and Anastasia having a child, but for the last 3 years, it never happened. God didn't grace them with a child yet. Anastasia always wished to be just like Emily, happy with her husband. Who wouldn't? It's every woman's wish that her husband expresses how much she means to him, how much he loves her. But Darian never did, not even for once talked softly with her. Anastasia explained her condition to Emily, and only one thing came in her mind. She instantly brought Anastasia to her hospital. After properly checking and confirming, she smiled happily at Anastasia at first, but when the last test came, her smile dropped down and concern filled her veins. "Anna, you're pregnant." Anastasia was frozen for some time, but then smiled brightly, caressing her tummy and tearing up in happiness. But her head snapped towards Emily, whose eyes were reflecting sadness. She placed a file in front of Anastasia. "Open it." Anastasia did what Emily said, and reading the file, her smile dropped down as well, smiling sadly at Emily. "Is it true?" Emily nodded at her, and, being a professional doctor, she explained to her everything, even though she knew how much it will hurt her friend. "I am sorry, Anna, but you have to make a decision wisely. Talk to Darian. His mother and yours too. But trust me, I think the B option is better." Anastasia shook her head, placing her hand on her stomach. "I can't do this, Em. Anna, you're like a sister to me. Please make the decision wisely. Please don't do something which you couldn't be able to change in the end." Anastasia nodded before standing up and smiling at Emily. "Keep these files with you. I will visit you after 2 days and will tell you my decision." Emily nodded and hugged her friend again, mumbling to make the right decision. Anastasia went back home feeling numb. "Anna, baby." She got startled hearing a high-pitched voice of a woman. Darian's mom hugged Anastasia while she returned the hug, smiling happily. They had lunch together. Darian joined them on lunch and then again went back to work. I know, Anna, you want to say something. Don't ever hesitate. I am like your mother. Anastasia smiled at her before grabbing her hands. Mom, I am pregnant. Mother nodded, smiling normally, but then realizing what she said, she squealed out and pulled Anastasia in a tight hug, taking her for a surprise. Oh, my baby, I am so happy. Finally, I am gonna be a grandmother. I waited for this for so long. Thank you so much, Anna. You made me so happy. Anastasia went numb, watching her being so happy. She didn't know what to do anymore. I didn't tell Darian yet. What? You should have told him first, Anna. He's a father. He deserves to know, and you know right how much he loves kids. Anastasia nodded in agreement, as it wasn't a lie. Darian indeed loved kids a lot. He never used protection, neither let her use pills. He only once told her that they are married and having kids isn't something bad thing. Anastasia knew he wanted to make a family. But will he be able to handle the real thing she wanted to tell him? She decided to talk to this matter with Darian first, and then with her and his mother. Darian, I wanted to talk to you, she said softly, watching her husband removing the watch. He just came back from his company. He hummed, motioning her to continue. Why are you so hesitant? Just say it. He said coldly, making her gulped down, taking a deep breath. Tam pregnant. She mumbled, but was enough for Darian to hear. He again hummed. That's it. I thought... Wait, what? He was frozen, staring at her with stunned expressions. She gulped when his eyes traveled to her stomach. Anastasia left stunned when a wide smile appeared on his face for the first time in these 3 years. He never smiled in this brightly before, even with his mother and relatives he never did. She flinched back a little when he kneeled down, caressing her stomach, making her more shocked. She gulped down when he kissed her, clothed stomach, smiling so brightly. Come fast, baby. I can't wait to hold you in my arms. My baby. He whispered, caressing and staring at her stomach with loving eyes. That time Anastasia didn't know what to do anymore. She was lost, confused and clueless.